You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Ron.
And I'm Terry.
Welcome to our abode. Is that how you say that? Mm-hmm. Our abode. Our home. We really want to appreciate everybody that tunes in and listens. We appreciate that very, very much. I've got a lot going on today, but my mind is really kind of somewhere else. And I don't know if we should talk about it while we're on the air, but here's some things I want to cover that I had written down. So we're not coffee drinkers, but drinking coffee actually lowers something. And we'll hopefully get to that and tell you what that is.
Doesn't it lower a lot of things?
Well, this is a pretty good risk.
Oh, okay.
Engaged couples fight over what? We'll talk about that. What they fight over. I don't remember us getting into a lot of fights over, but times are different. Impossible question to answer. I had a list and I can't find it, but I have the one question that was on there. And as I'm reading it, I'm thinking that is kind of impossible, but knowing you'd probably be able to answer it. Food crimes. You know, some people like to do certain things with food.
And other people think it's a crime.
Yeah, I think it's just, there's no way you do that. And one of the items that was on there really kind of blew my mind, and hopefully we'll get to that. 10 foods that could be used for straws. Because, people don't want to use plastic anymore because all the stuff that's going in the ocean, people don't know how to throw anything away. These are all people that care about the environment, but then they throw their garbage on the ground. And boy, I might be in a mood today. I feel like I'm
that one, yeah.
Well,
because we live on the corner. Someone else lives on the corner, and it seems like every time you go, they got garbage in their yard because they live on the corner. When you go around the corner, they whip their garbage out.
Sometimes, I'll say the wind knocks it, or raccoons get into it. We have raccoons here. And then finally, the final thing I'm hoping to get to in this episode is if you lost your sight, what would you miss seeing? There's a lot of answers to that.
Lots, yeah.
And we'll hopefully get to all of that. But before we do, so Terry and I have been, it just kind of popped up here recently. And I'm trying to work my way through it. And that is, if maybe you that are listening, you have a loved one that you're not sure if they should be living by themselves or not. Now, let me say this, though. It's not because she can't live by herself. Not really. She can do things.
She can do things. The only thing, she doesn't remember her meds all the time. But besides that,
if it got to a point where
she's still driving.
Right, yeah, she's still driving. It got to a point where she was leaving the stove on.
Then we would have to do something.
Obviously, you've got issues.
Then she wouldn't have a choice.
Right, or maybe, if you got to the point where you drive somewhere and you don't remember where you are, all that kind of stuff. She's not like that. My God bless my mother-in-law. I love her to death. She has welcomed me into the family from day one. And I've learned she's been on the podcast, and maybe we'll get her back on. We got to get her back on too. She might be on more often than you think. But that is part of today's, some of the thoughts going through my mind is that, she had mentioned that to my brother-in-law that maybe she shouldn't be alone. Now, I don't know if she meant shouldn't be because she felt like she was slipping, or she just missed. And when we asked her, because I wasn't going to ask. I wasn't. Last night she was here. We had spent the whole weekend basically by the pool because it was just
nice,
gorgeous. Now, I don't know what today's like that you're listening to the podcast, but this weekend it was beautiful, and we heated the pool, and it was just a beautiful
we got in it both days.
Weekend, yeah. And also, this week's been an interesting week in that Ron has spent a lot of money. And what I mean by that is I ordered a truck that Terry and I have both seen, and I didn't do it on my own. right? We are.
Well, I think it's go for it. Yeah.
Now here's the kicker.
This is the first vehicle we've ever both been into. We want the luxury, which packages we want. We need those extras because we want it our way. I mean, we got that stupid little Aveo, but it was just a whim because
if now this we ordered a Ford Maverick, which unfortunately we've seen but never driven.
Yes.
Now here's the other kicker: is I had talked about a color. I showed you the color, several colors, but then we saw the hot pepper red. Now it sounds red, but
it's
you and I both
orange.
know.
It's like an orange. It's like a burnt orange.
And she saw it, fell in love with it. I love the color.
I hope it's that color.
I hope so.
They don't have an orange on the list, do they?
No, it says hot pepper red. Okay. That's the color, and that's the one that keeps popping up. So we did that. We ordered a truck. Now, when we get it, it's hard to say, and we're in no hurry.
Yeah.
And then we have an issue with our pool liner, and that was another whole to do.
That's a big to do
because
three companies involved, and no one gets back to you, and then they tell you have to leave it open, it needs a measure, and this and that. And then,
well, we had it had a rip, and the liner itself is about 12 years old, right?
Yeah,
close to 12.
Yeah.
And it's been fading. I mean, it's, we've had a lot of, not issues. I don't want to say issues because it's been a really good line.
I mean, it just had that little slit, and I tried to fix it, and it's kind of flapping. But what I did make it so it didn't lose water this year. So,
and luckily it was above the water line.
It was
so that
like
really
right
helps.
at the water line.
Right at it, but it's pretty close. So anyway, we started out at $7,000. I know I've got really off track here. And we started off at $7,000, and then I found another company that brought it down to $5,000. Now there's some added things that like water and stuff,
and the light,
and a light. Yeah, well, I'm saying without the light thing, there was the water issue. Like they wanted to truck water in and that kind of thing.
So we're gonna have to pay extra for
if we did it that way. And then on a whim, I was talking to my brother, and I decided to call the gentleman that put our pool in. Now, mind you, I've been trying to call this gentleman for probably about 8 years. If you really think about it.
I mean, yeah, and since May quite often, right?
And I've learned to do a lot of things on my own. This is just one thing. I didn't have any measurements. I had no idea. So on a whim, I called and he answered the phone. So that was God saying, this is the guy, right? And he didn't want to talk prices, and then he did talk prices. And when he talked prices, he brought it down almost $3,000 more. So with Terry retiring, that's another issue.
Yeah.
Terry wants to retire and probably be her last year. But with all that going on, maybe that's why I'm waking up at 2:00 in the morning and can't sleep. I don't know. But it's been a busy spending weekend. Although we don't have a truck, we're not making a payment. Which is fine. The liner's not here either, so it's all in the order process.
We will feel better when it is here. Like if they UPS it to us, I would feel a lot better.
And I send a check to him. That would make me feel better because one way or the other, if we can't have him put it in, we could do it.
Yes, because if we have a liner, then we won't do without a pool.
It's just I want to fix the light. That's the only thing. Anyway, so that's been our week, and then we found out my mother-in-law came over. I know it really got off track there, and I wasn't going to ask, but I said, "Do you like living alone?" And she was honest, and she said, "Not really," and I can understand that.
She's been with someone for 60-some years.
Right, and I think. And I feel bad feeling some of the feelings that I feel. It's not that I think the world of her. I think she's fantastic. And again, it's not like, and this is hard to take because my grandfather was in a position where he needed care.
Yes.
It wasn't like we could leave him. Terry and I still work.
Yeah.
We could leave, Beth home and it's not a big deal. Mm-hmm. My grandfather, we couldn't do that.
No,
and
we would have had to have someone come in and sit with him.
Yeah, it was one of the hardest decisions we ever made as a family. And it just hurt when I signed those papers because I was the oldest grandson. I had power of attorney and all that. And it was we did all three of us, four of us, five of us really, my mom, my brother, my sister, we all talked about it. And that was a very, very difficult situation, but he couldn't really get around. And we had stairs. We live in a split entry, which, is nothing but stairs. We live on a freaking mountain. He ended up falling anyway in the
in the
nursing home.
Nursing home, yeah. And then he would have had been there anyhow.
So I don't know. I just when you think about we've been without kids in the house. How long has it been? So Zachary's been out about 2 years now.
Yeah,
he was our last one,
but he was out 3 years earlier than that. Like, he was home for 2, and then he was out 3 before that. You know what I mean? So we've had a little taste of no kids in the house for almost 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be embarrassing because you get, you get to a point where you just walk out of the bedroom, take your medicine, no pants on. I mean, it does happen. It's just part of, you get used to that. It's not going to be good if she's standing there and I'm like, it's going to be very awkward to say the least. So I'm going to have to train myself
to put the
pants on, I guess, before I go into the. Now I'm talking nothing. I usually just it's a free house. It's like my own nudist camp here. I love every second of it, and that is all going to be gone. That's gone.
She don't care. She watches.
Oh, come on! That gives me the willies. Just you saying that.
she watches me in my thong, and she don't say anything.
I know, but it just gives me the willies. But anyway, so that's gone. No. In all seriousness, it is. It is. I know it's the right thing to do, but we've got the house is ours finally, to a certain extent. So we have our exercise room. We have the podcast thing is the only thing that's a little weird because we don't really have a place for it.
But if we move things around, we could put it downstairs in our exercise room in the corner.
Yeah, but at some point, I'd like to go YouTube and film it.
And so we're going to need a place.
We need a place to just set it up, not put it down or not take it down. But who knows if we'll get to that point because by that time, who knows. But anyway. So that's what we're dealing with. Just trying to come up with, does she want to do it? We don't even know yet for sure.
No, I just told her that's an option. I said, if you're not comfortable living alone, we have 2 rooms and you can, if you feel more private downstairs, you could go downstairs. But if you would rather be upstairs so you don't have to do stairs to go to the bathroom and stuff, you could be upstairs. I said, you do not have to live alone is what I told her. And,
I think the only thing that's tough with downstairs is we have the Total Gym, and then another thing it's an off-brand of a Total Gym. I like one better than the other. They're both old, but they both do the job. There's really no place to put those.
No, we would have to.
There is no place.
We
have a grandson.
They fold up, yeah.
That is, and this room is
full.
Is him too.
And I told her I'd take the kitchen set. So
yeah. So I don't know. We'll keep you up to date on what. Who knows? She might be on the next podcast, and we'll talk to her live and really narrow it down to what she wants to do. And it's not,
I'm sure it's hard for her too because she doesn't want to feel like she's given up her independence.
Yeah, you'll be a third wheel. Nobody wants to be the third wheel.
Well, and if she moves in here, she may feel like, well, I'm giving up some of my independence.
Well, that's possible.
I mean, at some point, we're going to take the car away from her. My dad gave it up very easily. I was shocked. I thought he was the one we'd have to pry the keys out of his hand.
No, he just gave it up.
And it would have to just be disappear. And he actually gave it up on his own, where I don't think she's going to, I don't think she's going to give it up real easy.
I hate driving. Hate it. Hate driving. People are freaking nuts when it comes to driving. I don't know where they learned to drive, but it's maybe the Helen Keller School of Driving, but it's ridiculous. I don't know. I don't miss if I didn't have to drive anywhere. Well, I don't go. I want to go anywhere anyway. But it's just I don't know. Anyway, okay. So that's what we've gone through the last week. Spent lots of money, like we're just picking it off a tree, and going through that. So we have issues too. We have problems. They're not problems. They're just things that have popped up that kind of pop up on you when you least expect it, I guess.
Besides the nanny having surgery this week.
Yeah, and right. Not seeing Fenn this week.
Grandma can't watch him anymore either, so she's down at least one day a week to trying to struggle through work with a toddler.
Yeah.
In tow. And then sometimes, then if the nanny has surgery for a couple of weeks, she's,
Yeah, it's Fenn's trying to, and daycare is expensive. Those of you that have kids in daycare,
the main problem with their daycare right now is no one wants to put them on a list because they're COVID. They're still having problems with kids being out from COVID and workers being out from COVID, and they say they can't take anymore.
Well, according to Biden last night on 60 Minutes, of course, this will be a week ago because this is Monday, a week after his Sunday, 60 Minutes. He says we're done with it. COVID's over.
Yeah, right.
It's over, but we still have these things still in place.
Tell the school district. I mean, I have at least 10 kids that have been out in the last 2 weeks from COVID.
Yeah, but the COVID thing is more of a cold now for most people.
It is. They have symptoms, but then they went home from school and said, I'm not feeling good, and they tested them, and they were positive, and they were at school all day.
Well, that seems to be the biggest thing. There's been people that haven't felt nothing and then have a sniffle the next day and it comes up positive, which whatever. All right, so let's see if we can. Oh boy, we already got. We're really flying by with those conversations. That happens sometimes, but I wanted to get that off my chest. It's not that. I just don't like the feelings that I have. It's just independent. We have independence right now. We do our own thing. We go, we run. Not that would change.
No, it wouldn't. And the other thing is, She has come over here for the weekend here and there, not very often, but then she goes to my sister's for the weekend quite a bit. Or if they're having something with church or something, she goes out there. So it's not like she would be here all the time. It's not, I just, like I said, right now she's really kind of independent. If she wants to go out with someone from church, she can do that.
Well, that's the positive in that is she can still do those things. Yeah. So, all right, let's get to our first subject. Terry, if you had to pick your drink of choice, I know it's not coffee because you and I both do not drink coffee, but what would be your drink of choice?
I used to be a sweet tea drink, but I don't even think about that. I don't even think about that either.
Is there a tea though? A hot tea?
Maybe a raspberry tea or, something like that. But like a cold raspberry tea I like, or raspberry lemonade. In the summertime I do like a lemonade or a cold tea, but water. I mean, I've changed everything to water.
Yeah, me too. It's all water.
I mean,
you've never drank coffee, right?
No.
I've had coffee.
Still drink tea, like green tea in the mornings when I go to work when it's cold out.
Hot chocolate?
I used to drink a lot of hot chocolate, but now I'm watching the sugar. So,
yeah. Well, if you drink coffee, then you might really want to pour that second, third, and even fourth cup in the morning. Apparently, according to this, the higher consumption of coffee is connected to a lower risk of death. Maybe we should start drinking coffee.
That's what they say, that it helps a lot of health problems.
I mean, if you're putting, like I would, because back in the day, I was really young, I drank coffee way back. Of course, we put a lot of...
Because you probably thought it was cool to drink it.
There's a lot of sugar in it. I don't know. I think, maybe, because Dad drank it. Mom might have it. But I put a lot of sugar, and that's obviously not good. Now, it doesn't say what kind of coffee. It just says that if the higher consumption...
And nowadays, they go to, Starbucks and those lattes and that, they have so much sugar in them. They have more sugar in them than soda, some of them. So that's not good for you.
I would
think that they're talking about black coffee, or maybe black coffee with a little bit of cream and a tiny bit of sugar. They're not talking about like their lattes and their...
Well, it said they followed 20,000 participants, followed them for 10 years. And those who drank at least 4 cups of coffee a day had a 64% lower risk of death than those who never or almost never drank coffee. The research also found those who were 45 or older drinking 2 additional cups of coffee was linked to 30% lower risk of death. And again, it doesn't really say.
Yeah, because my dad drank coffee all the time, and he drank iced coffee.
Oh,
no
the iced
sugar,
coffee.
with no sugar in it.
Yeah.
He drank iced coffee straight, no sugar in it.
But do you ever find, I don't know if anybody in your office or school drinks coffee, but we have coffee pots on every floor, and I do love the smell of coffee.
Oh yeah, I like the smell of it.
Some of those coffees are great, but I just can't get into it. So if you are drinking 3, 4, or 5 cups of coffee, then you may live a little bit longer. Lucky you. Is this the next one I want to talk to you about? Oh no, that's not. This is the engaged couples. So if I had to ask you, what do you think engaged couples fight over the most? Now it says obvious. It says obvious. Engaged couples fight over blank. What do you think it would be?
I don't know where to go out to eat. They do more things when you're engaged. You do more dates, go more places. I don't know.
Well, it says over money.
Money?
They fight over money. The only thing surprising, they said,
how
is,
they each other spends the money, or
it turns out
because if I was engaged, I'd have my money and you'd have yours.
It says 55% of engaged couples argue over money issues while trying to plan a wedding.
Oh well, that's well, if you want this big venue and he doesn't want the big venue because he don't want to put the money into it, and no parents helping, then you got a problem.
Well, you want to put. I mean, does you really want to take? I don't know, 10, 15, 20,000 to a wedding.
Some of them are more than $20,000 now they put into a wedding.
It's just a lot of money where you can take that money and put it towards a home
or a car,
something you might need as a
right,
because you're a family now. You're just 2 of you. It's weird, but of those that fight, the main reason seems to be the lack of funds for the type of wedding they would like. Another hot button issue during the wedding planning process involves family. Close to a quarter of couples fought because their parents were giving them money for the wedding and then thought that that gave them the license to help plan too, the family giving money and saying, well, this is how I want it.
Spent, like I want it spent on the caterer,
right.
Or I want it spent on the flowers.
So we didn't have any of that. We pretty much planned, right? I mean, we didn't.
And
of course,
we
it's
kept
back
it
in the
low.
80s.
Yeah, we kept it low keyed. I didn't ever. I wasn't one of them little girls that dreamed of my wedding all my life.
Right.
I dreamed of a life with someone, not the wedding day.
Yes, exactly. I'm trying to find my my impossible question. Here it is. So here's the impossible question. You ready?
Yep.
When did you first learn your name? That's a good one.
Before I can remember.
Yesterday, I did. Because sometimes I forget. No, I mean, because we talked to Fan. We said, Fan, he turns around. That doesn't mean he's going to remember.
That when he learned
that he really learned it. He says, I don't remember
learning it. So
it
was sometime between your first year or maybe at least by your he's already responding to his name. So it had to be in the first year that he started responding to his name.
But if you ask him 10 years from now, he wouldn't remember.
No, because it's before you remember everything.
But there's things you remember, like you said, when you were like 2 or 3. I don't remember nothing before 5.
And almost everything that I remember when I was young is traumatic.
Yeah.
It's like, it was like it scared me. That's why I remember it.
I can barely remember my name, but as far as learning my name, I have no, I don't remember anything before 5. Name. I really don't. I don't remember a lot, anything.
I don't remember a lot before I was 5 either.
I mean, does it have to be traumatic?
When we were I remember 4 just because I was in kindergarten at 4, turning 5. And that year we moved from one house to another. So I remember that. And I remember a little bit before that. Like I remember the house that we moved from. And I remember the dog. We had a German Shepherd that scared the poop right out of me, literally. That's why I remember him, because he bit the paper boy so often that if you went around the corner, he was like eye level with me. If he would have bit right down, it would have been my face he would have had, you know. So he did literally scare the poop out of me. I mean, he could come, like I'd be sitting at the dinner table, and he could put his head right there and lick my plate if he wanted it.
Yeah, he was that big.
Yeah. And he was gentle with us, but he did not like bicycles, and he did not like kids on bicycles. And
yeah, So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I can't answer that question because I just don't. I kind of remember now that I'm thinking about it. 5, we moved from I guess it was an apartment on North Main to the house that my mom lives in now on the Circle. I kind of remember moving in because it seemed like there was a lot of kids in the neighborhood. So I remember a lot of kids being around. But I don't actually remember like moving anything, like actually helping.
I wonder if you went to your grandparents while they did the most of the moving.
That's possible. That's possible.
Furniture and stuff. Because I don't actually remember
you guys moving from.
Yeah, I remember
that's a big
being
move.
at one house, and then I remember being at the other house. You know what I mean?
When you moved from state.
Well, now I remember that move. I was in 6th grade for that one.
What are you talking about? The other moves?
The one right across town.
Oh, in Michigan.
Mm-hmm. When I was 4. I was 4 or 5. It was sometime during my kindergarten year.
Can you imagine trying to move today? Think about all the crap that we have in this house and in the giant house that I have that's in the yard that's supposed to be a shed. Although it doesn't look bad because it's really not. Well, it looks because it's 3 times the size,
and so it looks quite empty.
Yeah, and it's organized.
If we do move some of this stuff down there to make room, then we do have.
There goes my shed, folks. I told you it wouldn't take long to fill it up. There it goes.
Yeah.
Say goodbye, shed, because you're done. It's over. Well, it was nice. I might take a picture of it.
So the impossible question is:
when did you first learn your name?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either. Somebody out there probably say, I remember. I don't know if I'd believe it.
Well, Josh used to say he remembered being born.
Yeah, he did. I don't remember.
I don't remember any of that.
I didn't see a light. I don't remember seeing anything.
I don't either.
But anyway, that's one of I would like to have more. I had a whole list of like questions that were like, oh, I never thought of that. But that one was probably one of the better ones. So think about it. Maybe you can, maybe your mom would, that's how you'd answer it. They would have to answer it like we would answer it for Fenn because he turned around right about, because I remember even Lauren saying Fenn and he would turn around and look. We actually have it on video because I think he was in the cupboard with his little dinosaur outfit on and he was going through the cupboards. But anyway, think about it. When did you first learn your name? Hopefully you can comment or something. At some point, give us an email at justtalkingoutloud.com. Is there a crime against food that you just kind of cringe at? Is there something that people... Now, I will say, I remember you saying this with Billy Joe putting ketchup on
everything.
Eggs.
She put it on everything. Eggs.
A lot of people do that.
Macaroni and cheese. Yeah. They put it on everything. They put it on, eggs and macaroni and cheese. And I'm like, what's wrong with macaroni and cheese by itself? It doesn't need any ketchup.
Yeah,
eggs either, I don't.
This person says that one of the food crimes is using ketchup as a base for pizza or pizza sauce.
Oh,
that would be awful, I would think.
Well, no, it'd just be more sweet.
I don't know.
If you like sweet sauce, then you would like
ketchup is kind of, it's got a tang to it too, though.
But
I like that
sweet.
Tang.
It's got a lot of sugar in it. I mean, it's not on my diet at all.
We're not going to be using ketchup as a base for my pizza anyway. Here's one that I just don't think is, maybe some people do. Food crime, ketchup on a hot dog or a steak. Now, steak, I used to do it long time ago. I learned my lesson. If the cake, especially if the steak is cooked just right, and I've been doing a lot better. But ketchup on a hot dog, come on. How is that how's that a crime?
Hot dog. I want the ketchup, the honey mustard, and the relish on my hot dog.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I used to hate hot dogs.
You could do the
condiments is what makes it good.
What it is, peanut butter and mayonnaise that you used to do.
Well, that's because my brothers fed that to us when Mom went away.
Peanut butter and mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm. They tried peanut butter and pickles too. But they thought peanut butter and mayonnaise was a little grosser.
Yeah.
And we ate it.
It is a little grosser.
You know what? We ate it all the time when Mom was away.
Do people think that peanut butter and banana would be a food crime? Because I love peanut butter and banana sandwich. I haven't had one in a long time.
I like peanut butter and banana.
It's making me hungry for one, actually. Overcooked mushy rice. Yeah, that's a food crime. If the rice is mushy, I don't like mushy rice.
Some casseroles, when you reheat them, it gets mushy and...
Yeah, but if it's just rice itself.
Oh, yeah, by itself, it would be nasty.
It'd be nasty. But other than the peanut butter that you had and mayonnaise, that just seems gross.
That's boys for you.
But
Boys will see what kind of gross things their little sisters will eat when they're left in charge, you know?
Put pickles on there.
Oh, they probably tried everything. We would pick it off and eat the peanut butter and mayonnaise. And
what's your those of you that are listening? What's your food crime? What is it that people do? You kind of just cringe at it. I don't really pay attention. The ketchup thing, you know,
the ketchup on a steak is.
I used to do that, but I think it was more of a hamburger steak. I didn't get like a good ribeye.
Yeah,
I would never do that. That's a crime.
Yeah,
in itself, to a ribeye or a New York strip. But some people do. Some people have to have that ketchup, maybe because they dry it out.
Yeah,
like it burnt.
They like it really well cooked, and so they dry it out so much they need something to moisten it up. I don't know.
That could be. All right, when we come back after the break, we're going to talk about 10 foods that could be used for a straw, because these days, you know, the plastics, people concerned about plastic bags, straws, all that stuff.
Plastic water bottles,
everything. Well, plastic bottles in general, water bottles, yeah. And then we'll find out what we would miss most about seeing. We'll finish up the show with that. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So you want to start a podcast. Maybe you're listening to the show today and you're thinking to yourself, boy, that would be fun. And I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Maybe today is the day. Maybe you're looking for a new marketing channel, or you have a message that you'd like to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show. Now, it is a lot of fun just talking to your friends. Maybe you have ideas about sports, life, or whatever your passion is. Today's the day. Podcasting is easy, it's inexpensive, and it's a fun way to expand your reach online. And where should you go? Buzzsprout. It's hands down the easiest, and it's the best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. And your show, believe it or not, can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories in minutes, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and you wouldn't believe how many more there are. And they make it simple to join all of them. Podcasting is not hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout is the team to join. They are passionate about your success. You can join over 1,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout. We're one of them. We've been on Buzzsprout from the beginning, and I'm so glad I joined up. I had a little bit of an issue, emailed a customer service rep, and they got back to me within 5 minutes, and they had me calm down. It wasn't that hard, and what I was doing was my fault. So here's all you got to do. Click on the link in the show notes. It tells Buzzsprout we sent you. You can support our show, and if you get a paid plan, you get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon. Now, here's some other things that Buzzsprout provides. Like, you get a great looking podcast website. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I got to get a website, got to pay for that. No, you don't. They provide it for you. Also, they have audio players. Maybe you have a website, and all you want to do is promote your show on your own website. You can do that with their audio players, and you can also drop it into other websites and on Facebook or Twitter, and they help you do it all. Believe me, Buzzsprout is the way to go. They've helped me immensely, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So maybe today is a day for you to start your podcast. And if you do, check out the link below in the show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card. Welcome back to the show. I'm Ron.
I'm Terry.
And we just got done talking about a lot of different subjects. Our first subject was our week, and well, it's hard to say where we're going to head. Next show might be more interesting than this one. We're going to talk about straws, edible straws. Is there a food? Now, this happened actually at a baseball game. Now, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but this is in the New York Yankees ball game, and I don't know if somebody was. It was like a TikTok thing, and someone had filmed this guy. He had a hot dog, and he was hollowing out the hot dog. Then he stuck it in his beer and drank the beer through the hot dog. I mean, it works. I'm assuming the hot dog was cooked. He's at a ball game. Mm-hmm. So there you go. There's an edible straw you could use.
I wouldn't have thought of that one.
I could see it right now, though. The vision of my wife hollowing out the wiener and then sucking whatever she's drinking through the wiener.
You would love that.
That would be on.
You would love that.
That'd be a lot of views. We'd have to pay for that. We'd probably make $1 million on that. A lot of people could. I mean, a lot of women could do that. It's, it's just doing it that way. But that's what he was doing. Now,
what do you hollow it out with? A straw?
A straw. Yeah. So he takes the straw and then reams out the middle of the wiener and then does it that way. I don't know if he just seemed a little weird. Anyway, according to National Geographic, 8 million metric tons of plastic waste is in the ocean, or it finds its way in the ocean every year. So a lot of people have been talking about different ways to get rid of the straw. We have straws everywhere in this house.
That's because we bought them for like 3 years in a row when we were on vacation. Now I try to put them in every cooler so we don't buy them again.
So we would go on vacation, right? We'd forget the straws, go buy another package of straws, because on the beach we wanted our what are those margarita type things in a bag,
like free. Yeah, they're like
freezer,
freezer
strawberry
drinks. Yeah,
is there mango? I don't know.
Yeah, there was a mango one.
So every year for the last who knows how many years we were.
And so the last 2 or 3 years I have not brought any, because every cooler I see I just put a few straws in, and then that way
there's straws everywhere in this house. So what would make a good straw besides a wiener, Terry? Would you like a wiener straw? Hot dogs is number 1, by the way, which you could use.
I was thinking celery or something like that, but I don't think it'd be very easy to hollow out. Same thing with almost all your vegetables. They'd be very hard to hollow out, wouldn't they? Like carrots and celery.
So hot dogs is 1. 2, you should get, because you like to munch on these when we're going on vacation.
Oh, Twizzlers. Yeah.
Twizzlers is number 2.
Oh, but they're hollow in the middle already.
They are. Yep. So Twizzlers could make a straw.
We'll have to remember that next time we don't have them for our drinks.
Then it says veggie straws.
Well, veggie straws, they have veggie, like, the chips are like a straw, though, veggie straws.
Yeah, but when you put them in the drink, wouldn't it get like soggy?
Yeah, I think, but then, like
too.
I said, the veggie, can you see me, let's say a big carrot, can you see trying to put a hole down through it?
Through what?
Through the carrot.
Is carrots on here? I think carrots.
Well, veggie straws would be, that's a veggie.
Carrots are on here. Yeah,
are
carrots,
they?
Yeah, carrots. Cheese sticks.
Well, that's what I thought of, a cheese stick, but I thought it would get goopy too, wouldn't it?
I would think so. Well, but a cheese stick has the cheese in the middle.
Yeah.
So you have to suck the cheese out.
But there's some, like if you're talking about fried cheese stick, it has a breading on the outside, which would then fall into your drink. It would slowly fall away and be nasty in your drink. Like the string cheese, how would you get the middle out?
String cheese, yeah.
To get it through. It might be small. Better, but it would, if you left it sit in there long enough, it would get goopy too.
Yeah. Churros?
Churros is, like a donut type thing. Except they're twisted. You know what I mean? Like
twisted. Okay.
Zachary likes churros. Like
he likes churros?
Yeah.
Churros.
You can twist them, and it's kind of like our donuts we make, except they're long and you twist them.
I guess there used to be Kellogg's made cereal straws. It used to sell them back in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm, I remember them.
Fruit Loops was part of Apple Jacks, was one of the straws. It was edible straws. And apparently they're talking about bringing it back as a cereal straws. So I wouldn't mind that. I think they're Cocoa Krispies, Apple Jacks, and Fruit Loops was some of the flavors for cereal straws.
Yeah, the worst thing would be they get real soggy if you left them in your
How do you
pop
say
or
that?
Something.
That's a pasta. Can you see it? You need your glasses.
Bucatini pasta.
Is it bucatini?
Bucatini.
Bucatini pasta. Does that have a hole in it? It must. That's number 3. And we said carrots. That was last on the list. Cheese sticks was next to last. Churros. Slim Jims. I think that would be nasty.
It would taste bad. Well,
unless you like Slim Jims.
Well, but think of orange soda in it with a Slim Jim aftertaste. Or, you know what I mean?
Any of these could be nasty.
I mean, if you want your water to taste like water, you put it through a Slim Jim, it ain't going to taste like water.
No, unless you like a little zing to your water.
Right.
Then it would, I guess people might try it. Rolled wafer cookies could be a straw. They're trying to figure out ways. Wasn't there a straw, like I don't want to say paper.
Yeah.
But I thought there was like a paper straw that they were trying.
And you know the little straws that they have sugar in? Like it's a candy?
Oh, yeah.
They're paper, and I've seen people eat the candy out of them and use it as a straw.
Use a straw. So if you can think of new ways to make a straw, bring a cooked hot dog to your local restaurant and you can use it that way, I guess. But I don't know. I just I like the cereal idea. I don't know how that would go with a drink. I don't use straws anyway.
I don't.
Well, I do, and I do. I take that back. That's not true.
I've been drinking out of my straw drinking cup at work. Just take the lid off of it and drink it because the straw, it seems to give me too much air in my stomach sometimes.
We're in a restaurant that we're using straws because I don't want to drink out of their cups.
I know.
The glasses.
Even though they went through the dishwasher or something.
Apparently, I think they did.
Yeah. How do you know for sure?
I don't know. But I'd always, it's just natural to drink out of the
straw.
Out of the straw at a restaurant. It's just because it's something I've done for 50 plus, well, not 50 plus years, but we'll say, what am I, 57? So subtract that, 43 years, 53 years. Still messed up. That's still wrong math. Boy, my math is bad today. My mind, what are you doing?
My belly button itches.
Your belly button itches. This is why we can't do on YouTube. This is why, because you for some reason, now you're picking out crud out of your peanut, out of your belly button.
It itches. Like something bit me down in there.
Oh, maybe you need to. Oh, come on. Did you really just do that? Man, she just sniffed her belly button crap out of her belly button. Man, what did I marry into? You are gross. That was interesting because that's not something my mom would do.
Well, your mom
she would sniff.
Everything.
She sniffs everything.
She sniffs your jeans. Oh, is that dog poop?
Oh yeah. If you were even near dog poop,
she throws it away. It doesn't go in her washing machine.
Yeah, I can't believe you just did that. That was you actually did put it. You sniffed it. Then you wanted me to smell my finger. You did the old smell my finger. Smell my finger.
I said smell mine.
You did.
I think it smells bad.
Yeah, you. No, I don't. I'll smell it later. Let's move on to the next subject. That's our what would you do for a straw segment. Think of it. Maybe you think of something that we didn't think of that has a hollowed out center. The dogs are barking.
Sounds like they attacked something.
Yeah. That's I mean, I'm in doggy
each other mainly.
Well, actually, doggy hell.
Yes,
15 dogs, just
15 or 16, just in a
5-minute radius,
in a half a block one way and half a block the other way.
Yeah,
we're right in the middle of them.
All right, so if you could not see, if you lost your eyesight, what would you miss the most? That's a tough one because there's a lot of things.
I think probably reading, but I would miss seeing my children.
There you go.
I would right. seeing all my family. I would miss crocheting because you have to be able to see to an extent to do that.
And the finished product when you're done.
Almost everything you do. I wonder what it's like for someone who never could see that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then if they ever got a glimpse, then they would probably miss it more.
Right.
You know, because
right.
if you've ever thought about it and just sat and closed your eyes, like, what can you do in the dark? I mean, people do learn. They learn to go to work. They learn to...
There are people that have
rely
never
on
had their
dogs
eyesight, and they're amazing people. Their
Mm-hmm.
other senses are just out of this world.
Yeah.
What they've accomplished. They did a survey, and they asked them, what would you miss the most? And most of the respondents, 26%, said they would miss witnessing their children's milestones. That's 26%. Seeing nature, 23%. Then, of course, always the pets, 22%. And then 15% said their favorite TV shows. Which
you
is
could
like,
listen to them.
You could kind of get an idea. When asked which of the 5 senses are the most important to them, what would be, if your 5 senses, what would be most important to you?
I would still probably
it'd
say
be
sight.
77% said vision. What would be number 2 for you?
Probably hearing.
Hearing, that's number 2. 14%. How about what would come in third? So you eyes,
either
ears,
touch or
touch.
taste.
Man, you are on a roll. Touching, and then what?
Tasting.
Tasting was after smelling. Smelling, then tasting. It's not far behind that. Real close together. But some of the other things these are the top things people would miss if they had lost their vision. Food was at the bottom of the list. Food. I don't need to see food.
It doesn't.
It's not. Sometimes
it looks like
gross.
Barf. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like someone threw up on it. Reading their favorite books, what you just said, reading. Their milestones, 12%. The sunrise and sunset. You don't think about it, to be honest, when you're in this routine of working.
All the time.
You don't think about it until you go on vacation and you see the sunrise over the beach or whatever, and it makes sense then. Certain colors they would miss. Favorite TV shows, we said that. Their pets, nature, and of course the loved ones' faces came in first, 37%, which I think that would be, and like you said though, if you never had it, then you don't know what you're missing. People could tell you things, but you probably wouldn't know. But if you had it and you were losing it, that would be tough. Because you're so used to being able to see all the colors. So some people are colorblind though.
Yeah.
And don't get to see all the colors. It's all black and white, I think, right? Is that how that goes?
I don't know.
Or is it different?
And some color blindness are not as prevalent as other. Like some people just don't see like pink. They, like if you had 3 or 4 colors of Legos or whatever, they may think that the yellow and the green are the same color because they don't see, all the vivid colors.
Also said here they did a study and they asked, they said that the average person started worrying about their eyesight at 39 years old. That's about right, isn't it? I think so.
In my 40s, I started wearing reading glasses.
48% said their eyesight's as good. Most find it easy to take care of their eyes, 62%. Then they were talking about, we use our computers a lot. Talking about LASIK surgery. 72% said, I've never been through the surgery. I had a friend of mine at work, and he's an older gentleman, and he had it done. His glasses are gone. And it's funny because as you get older, they say it doesn't work as well, but he has had no issues
then my
whatsoever.
Girlfriend had it done in our 40s.
She was younger.
And she wore sunglasses for 3 months, and I don't think she had not a good experience with it at all. So
most people said that if their eyesight was diminishing, they would probably try it. If they thought it could help.
I can't stand the thought of someone putting something on my eye. Just going to the eye doctor and she puts that thing around your eye. I don't like it.
I was surprised. He said, they did all that. They kind of numbed it with these drops, and he said it was boom, boom. It was done. He said it was painless. They did one eye,
but
and
I've
then he had
heard
to go
of
back.
people having a bad experience with it too. So.
There's been situations where it has been the opposite. People, the actual light, certain type of light, bothers them. Night driving
for months.
Yep, night driving bothers some people after they've had it done. And there's the other ones that, like I said, he's an older gentleman and he's actually done really well with it. So I guess it just depends.
Although the last time I saw her, I didn't think she had glasses on, so maybe it finally adjusted and she adjusted to it. But it was mainly the light that bothered her. She couldn't read or nothing for that time while the light bothered her.
But those are some of the things that we would miss. What would you miss? Maybe there's something that we didn't talk about that was on this list. I think most things were on the list. Is somebody at our front door? Our ring is going off. I thought I had my phone on silent, but that must be the ring is time is up. Maybe that's what that means.
Maybe that's what that
maybe
means.
Time is done. We covered a lot of stuff that I didn't think we were going to cover, including my anxiety. I don't know why I'm waking up at 2:00 in the morning and can't go back to sleep.
Maybe it's because I'm up.
You're not up.
Well, last night I slept good, but the few nights before that I was awake like every hour. I don't
think it's because it
is. I'm talking about retiring. How we want everything in a row. We want to make sure the bills are lower than they have been,
which they are. We're doing okay. Well, actually, we're doing better than we have in a long, long time. And then you throw the wrench. Yeah, ever. And but when it comes down to it, we don't know how long we have. And when you have an opportunity to watch your grandchildren, then
be with your loved ones a couple days a week, why not?
And you had 20 years in. You have done 20 years.
Yes.
And so it's not like some might say, well, how much money are you going to lose by going early? And you can look that up. It's like $100 a year, isn't it?
$100 a month.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
$100 a month per year.
I wish you had never said that. Holy cow!
If I would stay till I'm 62, I would make
over $2,000 a month.
No, it would be like 1,700. It would be it's like $100 a month per year almost.
Holy crap! I must have missed that part. Well, whatever. Okay, just throw that out the window. We'll just leave it at that. All right. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe so that you get an alert every Monday. New episode comes out, and are you enjoying? I guess I should ask you that question. Do you enjoy doing this? I know we'd like to have the kids on more often and stuff.
I think it's more interesting when the kids are.
I agree.
The kids make me laugh. They bring up other subjects. I think our kids are bright and they're
I agree with that.
Attuned to things. I
think they bring out different sides of us too, and hopefully we can get them on. But don't forget to subscribe. Also, you can check us out on Twitter, Facebook, justtalkingoutloud.com on both of those, and our website is justtalkingoutloud.com. And we really want to thank you for taking this time. I know your time is valuable, so if you listen to us as we ramble on about some of the things that we do, I appreciate you checking in with us. And who knows what will happen next week? We might have a guest that's living here permanently. I don't know. Anything can happen in a week.
I don't think it'll happen that quick, but you never know.
You never know. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate that.
And have a blessed week.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show.